So hi guys, I'm Rodrigo from GJ Tech Zone. I'm going to do a quick review, a quick overview of the Traktor Kontrol S5 that came already out a while ago, but I think it's still an interesting controller to review because it's the last controller that Native Instruments brought out for Traktor Pro, which says something. And it's a good budget controller if you want to go from an S4, S4 MK2 and S2 to something with screens. And it's basically the cheapest option you have if you want to DJ on Traktor Pro with built-in screens. A few disclaimers and warnings though. If you are looking at this video and you're thinking of moving from Serato or Rekordbox to Traktor and you're looking at this controller, let me warn you, this controller is very different of what you're used to. Of course you can already see it, but you can be deceived in thinking that it's less different than you think. Because you see those 8 pads per deck, you think, oh, that's the thing, that's what I'm used to. I mean, I love those pads to do performance tricks and loops and rolls and all that stuff. It's different here. So here, the pads control different things in different ways than on Serato and Rekordbox DJ controller. So be warned of that. We're going to go into that quickly go into that into review. Why I say quickly, there are many videos out there of this controller, so I'm not going to go and do a 30-minute review of this. Has to be quick. It's just to highlight potential interest or potential caveats for people that want to upgrade to this or people that want to come into the Traktor world through the Traktor Kontrol S5. On the basic level, this controller is a 4-channel controller with no hardware mixer, so you cannot connect turntables or media players and use Traktor Scratch for DVS purposes. It's a software mixer. It has 2 decks, it has 8 pads per deck, and it has 2 screens per deck. How do you work with this? Well, the best way to work with this controller is through sync. Yes, that's what I said, sync. Not manual beat matching, syncing. Why? Because doing things like changing the pitch and nudging are far more complex on this controller than any other traditional jog wheels pitch fader controllers. To change the tempo, you need to press a button, you need to turn a dial. If you want to do it quicker or change in more increments, you have to press additionally the shift button. If you want to nudge, you have to nudge with your touch strip, which is doable. I'm not saying it's not doable, but it's just completely different than what you're used to in the more traditional controller world. So be aware, if you're coming into this, you will not want to spend time trying to do everything manually. You will probably, get really stressed and probably start to fail in your DJ set. So if you are coming into this, be prepared to use sync and you will quickly go to the sync button. I can guarantee you that when you try to mix 2 tracks and you're not managing to fiddle all the buttons and knobs to change the tempo quickly enough and to match the tracks up. So this is a Traktor Pro controller designed to be used with sync. Let's cut the bullshit. That's what this controller is designed for. So if you buy it, be prepared to use it in the way it was designed. That's a very important point I want to make for all the potential buyers of the S5. Good. If we have that cleared out, let's go into the details on how the controller works. So as I said, you have 2 decks with the screens. The screens allow you to, I'm gonna do it here because then you can check it, browse your tracks very easily, browse your folders, go up and down in your folder structure and basically select what you want. You get enough information. They are very bright in bright settings or in dark settings of course as well, but also in bright settings, sunlight, you will probably be able to see pretty well what you're doing on the controller. So that's pretty good. What you also have are effect controls, which is similar to what the Numark NV and the Denon MCX 800 have done, the way they implemented the effects with the screens. Let me just put something else there. So I have a dry wet knob and I see what's happening on the screen. I can activate Traktor effects, chain them up. I can change which effects I want there. So it's pretty cool. You have a lot of functions there. So using the effects from the controller is great, and you don't have to look at the screen when you're changing stuff. It's really nice to see. Then you have the deck part, and on the deck part, well, what you have on the decks are, of course, the performance pads, and the performance pads allow you to set hot cues. Now I've quantized, that's the quantize button. Now it's off. Very responsive pads, very good. You have freeze mode. Very nice to play around with. And you have the flux mode. If you're in your track, and the flux mode is like the sleep mode on Serato or Recordbox DJ. You can just do stuff like scratch. That's nice, the flux mode, so it's a nice effect. You have two encoder buttons that you can use for browse, but the other one is for loops, instant loops, or so that's the way you can do rolls. Very handy, very easy to do. Or you can just put out the flux mode and do the loop. And I love the fact you can see your loop size on the screen. That's so damn handy. Then you have another thing is stems. And stems, I'm not going to go into the details how you use it and how you use it on the S8, because it's a bit different. On the S8 you have the faders. Here you don't. You have to use your pad. So if you charge on a stem into one of the decks, then we get color-coded the pad's color code to indicate which stem is what. And then I can very simply activate the activated stem by clicking the pad. I can control the volume, or I can control the filter. And yeah, it's cool. I mean, I like stems. Activate, deactivate, play around. And maybe just for those who don't know, stems are tracks that are splitted up, so you can manipulate each instrument layer separately, which is great for remixes and stuff. It's great. The problem is you don't find many popular stems. You find stems of underground artists, alternative artists, and popular stuff that, you know, the hits. It's really hard to find them on stems, because, you know, why would artists bring them out on stems and people can go and just make remixes and just, you know, they lose control over their music. So the format is great. Technically it's brilliant, but commercially it hasn't really catch on. So I really love it, but unless you play underground music or you play, you know, less, you know, music or your music, and you cut it up and you create stems, and so you can remix your own music on live. That's great. That's really great. And for that, the S5 is perfect. But don't expect to be able to go online and find the top 40 stems and just download them into your computer. The mixer then, so it's a traditional 4-channel mixer, not a hardware mixer, software mixer. Nice faders, nice pitch, nice crossfader, nice faders, filter. With a filter kill knob. Nice. 3-band EQ. effect selector, which channel you want the effect to apply to, gain control, and a few controls for your Q, your volume, and so forth. An aux button to control the aux input in case of computer failure. If everything is done and your S5 is powered up, you can press the aux button, and with the loop encoder and with the browse, you can actually control the volume of your aux channel that comes in. Nothing else, only the volume, but it's good to have in case of emergency. That's the Control S5. On the back you have XLR master and RCA output and TSR output for your booth. And that's it. No input, so no hardware mixer. That's the S5. It's priced around 800 euros in different online retailers. You can click on the link below to have more details on how to buy the S5 online. Do I recommend it? Again, with all the disclaimers I gave you, when you're coming from previous Traktor Pro controllers that had joggles and pitch faders to this, if you're coming from different software, be aware of the workflow that you need to adapt to. It will force you to use sync. I want to be clear on that. You will be forced at some point during your sets, during your work, during your DJing to use the sync button. That's it. Accept that and you will have a hell of a lot of fun with the S5. You will enjoy it. It's a fantastic build controller and it's out there for an excellent price, and it will bring you into DJing in a very creative way. You have stems, you have remix decks, which I didn't cover here, but you can also use remix decks with this controller. It's a great piece of gear, but it's for a specific niche. And if you're not in that niche, stay away. Don't go here, go elsewhere, or you end up disappointed. Thank you very much for watching. There are much more videos coming up. I know I've been slow in releasing videos in the last few months, but I had a lot of work on the blog, so I'm going back to the videos to release videos for you guys, with much more information coming up here on Digitech Zone on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel, follow me, make sure you click that little alert to get notifications when I put up new videos, and see you next time. Bye bye.